Hello there. So here we are again, and I'm doing well. I feel good, and I'm excited about my future. It's not what you would expect. I had a consultation with my surgeon, and I do have a very small tumor in my colon that's reaching outside of it, and they aren't sure if it's touching my bladder or not. But anyway, everybody keeps apologizing to me. My doctors, my primary care physician, um, it- she, their voices get very low. Oh, I'm so sorry, Marna. I'm so sorry. And I'm like, you don't have to apologize to me. I'm okay. I actually am okay. Yes, this is inconvenient. And yes, it's been a bit of a shock that this thing decided to come back. But I always look at it like, okay, usually in life, when we repeat the same thing over and over, it's because we didn't do it right the first time. So I keep looking for ways, for things that I did that I should have done better. And already I've done this one much different than I did the first time around. I was not familiar with these procedures and being in the hospital for periods of time, having surgeries and needles and tests and all the things that they do to you when you're in there. I was not familiar with it. And so after my initial shock, I was angry at my doctor because I felt like, oh, he's going to talk me into things I don't need or want. They're going to lead me down a path, and a lot of it is going to be what I don't need or want, but I won't know that. And I felt like God inside me said, be calm, trust me. I will go with you. Go on this journey, and I will go with you. And I had a memory the other day when I was talking to my surgeon and walking through those halls again and going into those same doors and those same offices and those sitting in those same chairs and talking to familiar people. I had a memory of the last time when they were wheeling me down the hall and I was on a gurney looking up at the lights in the ceiling as they went by, and I was feeling alone because my sweetheart is gone. And I didn't have his hand to reach over and hold. And I felt very alone because of that. Well, as we're wheeling down the hall, I got a mental picture that was, it might, I don't know, it makes me laugh a little bit, but it's like we might envision what God looks like, the long white hair and the long white robes and the long white beard and all of that. He was sitting on a chair that seemed to be either attached to or right next to my gurney, and he was facing forward a little bit towards the end of my gurney, toward by my feet. But he's moving right along, sitting right there looking forward. And I remember when it flashed through my mind, I thought, oh my goodness, you're trying to tell me that you're with me. And the other day I mentioned it to my daughter-in-law who went with me to the meeting, and she said, he's going before you. See, he was at the end of the gurney, at the end of the bed, riding right along. I'm like, oh, that's right, huh? He's going before me. Okay. a good analogy. Anyway, I knew I wasn't alone. I could feel it very, very comforting in my heart and my soul. And I just took a deep breath and relaxed into it. Like, okay, I'm good with this. As long as you're here with me, I'm good. I'm okay. Whatever they do, you're here, you're overseeing. You're not going to let it go in a direction where you don't have it, the intention of it going. And so that memory was comforting. Again, he's going to go with me again. I may not see him next to my gurney. I don't know. Maybe I will. I'll have to let you know after it happens. Which is going to be in 2 or 3 weeks. Anyway, I have struggled with a little depression after talking to him. Well, my emotions have gone up and they've gone down. I feel good about it and I feel discouraged by it. Sometimes, and it depends on the mood I'm in, apparently. I'm not sure where my emotions go or what causes them, if it's hormones or what. My chances are very, very, very good. And this will be very simple. Yes, I'll be in the hospital for 5 or 6 days at least. And there are a couple of things that could be very concerning. It could go in, they have to warn you of the worst case scenarios. And he did. And my immediate response that just came completely out of my gut was, no, that's not happening. No, I'm not going there. No, you're not going to do that. Those are not the directions that we're going here. And he kept telling me, well, I have to warn you of the possibility. I said, I understand. I understand you have to say these things. But he kept saying it, and I kept thinking, I can't let that word stand. And ironically, or serendipitously, a little while later, when my daughter-in-law and I were back out in the waiting room waiting for another process, a lady came in with a shirt on and it said words and more words and more words. They are powerful. And I looked at that and I thought, wow, okay. Father is reminding me. And that's why I have been so programmed through the years with him to counteract. If something is said to me that is negative, that is not what I believe, it's not that I have to argue with them. It's not that I have to tell them they're wrong. That's not it at all. I simply have to say, I don't receive it. I don't accept it. That is not the way this is going to go. And you'll see, oddly enough, I locked my eyes with the surgeon. It was a strange moment. And we stared at each other like we were staring it down. And I was sitting very close to him because I was on the little exam bed that they have in the rooms. And he was right next to me. And a very strange thing that I did, I reached up and I put my finger on his forehead right here. Held it there for just a minute and then let go. He didn't turn away or flinch or say anything about it even. Nobody did. Not his assistant and not my daughter-in-law. Nobody responded to it. And I've thought about that afterwards. Why did I do that? There was something inside of me that was saying, He needs to be able to see the outcome the way I see it. This is going to be clean and easy and smooth. He needs to see it. And it felt like I was touching him so that his mind could receive it and see it and believe it. Now, I don't know how that influenced him. I didn't ask him afterwards, and that's none of my business. In a way, that's between him and God. However he views God, we didn't talk about that. But I told him, okay, I will sign your permission papers, but that's not what you're going to do. Not the negative part. Oh, and I did ask him to tell me what he thought the chances were for that worst case scenario. And he had to really think about it, and he wasn't answering me right away. And I said, give me a number, a percentage. 5% chance? And he thought a little bit longer, and then he said, maybe around 20. And then I just smiled and I said, that's nothing. Easy breezy. That's not happening. I thought of here by the mountains when I look at the weather forecast for the day. And if they tell me 20% chance of rain or thunderstorms, 20%, it's not going to happen. I go ahead and put my shorts on and plan my day for sunshine, because 20% just never materializes, and neither will his. And I feel very confident about that. I'm not trying to force it in my mind. I'm not trying to talk my mind into believing it. That is what feels like the truth. Now, I have thought about when I was taking the controversial protocol, I thought, okay, I heard him tell me the name of it for a month or two before I ever took it. But it kept echoing in my mind so many times that I ordered it and kept it at the house and had it and had no idea that I was going to need it. But that voice telling me that word, the name of it. And so I ordered it and got it. And I thought, what was that about? Because after 3 months of it, it was stressing my liver so much, I had to finally stop when I knew I was going to get the scan and then talk to the surgeon. I stopped taking the protocol, and I thought, what was that about? Why did I go through that for 3 months? What was the purpose there? And the only thing that comes to me is, I don't know yet. It did something, because I felt so good immediately after starting to take it. It was like I had inflammation or something. I had sinus infections repeatedly, and they were gone. And I just felt good, and I still do. He asked me that, the surgeon did at the meeting. How do you feel? Do you have any pain anywhere? No. Is anything not working well, not functioning the way it's supposed to? No, everything's functioning perfectly, and I feel good. And I'm going to continue to feel that way. But I said, I want to move along and get this done. I want it done and over with. So I am handling it very differently than I did last time. Last time I definitely felt like a stranger in a foreign land. And this time it's all very familiar. And I, f- I feel more like I'm setting the rules. I already wrote him a memo and told him which treatments I was not in agreement with. We were not going down that road again. I'm not doing chemo and radiation. I'm not doing getting the port installed. And that stuff, it took me way down, way down. I could feel my body dying. I'm not doing that again. I feel good. And last time I felt like Father told me to go in the direction they were telling me. And honestly, he indicated my oldest daughter was in shock and a little fear, and that I was going to do this for her. But towards the end, towards, 4 or 5 months later, and when I started backing away from their treatments and told the surgeon, we're going to go for the surgery and get this done and over with. And he agreed. She was, I wouldn't say scared. She was nervous. Mom, are you sure you want to do that? Mom. And I told her exactly what I was feeling and thinking. This is not good, Tim. This is not good. I'm not going down this path anymore. I'm going forward. We're going to get this over with. And yes, I'm going to monitor afterwards. I'm not going to just go la 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 off into my life and not be aware that there's a chance that it could come back. I need to be aware if and when it does and be prepared to confront it a little differently because it took me by surprise last time. And that's what I've done. I had a night recently where I woke up and I was thinking about this and I was angry. I do still seem to have a lot of anger when I think about the last time and all the procedures and protocols and things I followed that were traumatic and painful, not only physically, but mentally. And I look back on a lot of those, as I said, and I see them as unnecessary. They caused unnecessary stress and trauma that took me a long time to get over, months, years even, to heal my body, to make it better again, to make it strong again, and my mind, to understand what I went through, what it was for, what all of those procedures did, and to connect the dots and understand it all. Having that all brought on you suddenly, unexpectedly, and then going down these paths where it's boom, 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 one right after another. You're doing things you've never done before. You're having things done to you that you've never had done before. It feels very much like being a victim. And I know this is an extreme way to say it, maybe to you, but the thought came through my mind the other day that it seems similar to rape. And maybe that is too extreme to say it. I've never felt like I was raped, so how can I compare it? Well, I feel like that I have been in very close, similar situation. I never called it rape, but was I ever in a situation in my life where I was doing something that was not my will, that I did not want to do at all, and had to do it because it was what was expected of me, or I was trying to think, what other reason would you do that? Would you do anything that is completely against your gut wishes? Mostly it's from expectations, isn't it? Expectations, beliefs, role that you're playing. So I've done that, and that is a form of rape, mentally, and if it goes physically, yes, there is that. So, for instance, when the fire was threatening our small town and we had to evacuate, as I was packing that day, I would fold up a shirt to put in my backpack, and then I would throw it down on the bed and say, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. This is against my will. And I would be angry again. It's that response. And it's that same response I had to the surgeon the other day when he mentioned the worst case scenario, which I'm not going to say to you because the words are powerful and I'm not giving them space. They're nothing. But I did have to evacuate my house. And that felt like a violation, a big one. This is my house. This is my life. This fire was encroaching upon my territory, and it made me angry. So the last time I was here at the house, and I don't remember if I told you this, I stood by my back door looking at the smoke and the billowing fire, and I pointed at it, and I let my anger tell it what I felt like. No, this is my home. You don't touch it. You are not allowed here ever. I bar the door to you. Well, I feel the same way about this. Okay, I'm going to go get surgery and get this small little tumor out of me. And I'm not doing this anymore. And I have informed my body of it and the tumor. I have put my hands on my belly where it is, and I've told it, you're not coming back. You're going to leave very, very quickly. I have done that same speech using an anger that comes up from my gut. It's not something I manufacture or tell it's not. This is a formula. This is a procedure that I have to do. It's not like that. And it doesn't work if I try to do it that way. If I try to say the same words from just, okay, I have to do this and I have to do this is a recipe. No, it's not. That fire in my gut has to flame up. And then I speak from it. And the words that I say sometimes are not what I'm expecting to say. They come out of me spontaneously. And I don't know if you've ever done that or felt that, but there's power in it. And when I saw that lady's shirt about the words, it was like, yeah, that's powerful. That is powerful. And it's not an intellectual, it's not a mental thing at all. So what is that? My only explanation is it's that divine spark that God puts in us. It's there and it's alive and it lives inside of us. And if we listen to it and let it work and do its thing, let the words come out. Say them. This isn't about having a temper tantrum. It's not that at all. It doesn't even feel like that. This feels like I'm in charge. I'm on a throne, seated next to Jesus, and this is my kingdom. And this is what's going to happen. And I'm going to say the words because what I say in my kingdom is like a decree. And that's what has to happen because He told me I'm ruling and reigning with him. And he's the one that taught me this. So I let it flow. When it happens, I let it flow. And it's the same thing right now. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm allowing. And when that fires up in me and the words pop out of my mouth, I let them. I let them. And I accept them. I accept it. I accept it so completely that this is truth. This is a part of me. It's a part of my life. And when I told the surgeon no, I looked back on that and I thought, how crazy they must think. His assistant didn't say a word and neither did he. They both stared at me like, okay. And I bet they've never had anybody respond to them that way. In all my other communication, I think I seem perfectly normal and sane, but that came out of left field for them. I think it did. And I don't know how they considered it afterwards. I wonder if they spoke to each other, if she said, "What was that? Doctor, what was that she did?" And how he responded, or whether she said anything, or if they're familiar with it at all. I don't know. That's not my realm. That's not my kingdom. That's between them and God. So here we go. Another challenge, another forest fire to face. And I'm on my way and I'm fine. And I'm comforting those who come to me with sadness, telling me how sorry they are that I'm going through this. And I'm comforting them. It's fine. This is life on earth. This is just life on earth. And I'm here for as long as it takes. I do have a job and a mission, and I haven't completed it yet. So I'm here for whatever that duration is. I don't have a absolutely clean timeline on that I can tell you, oh, I'm going to be here, blah, 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 years. I know what I feel, that I'm not done yet and I have time to go. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm thankful and grateful for everything in my life right now. It's perfect. It is. I hope that you can see the perfection in your own life and feel that gratefulness, that appreciation. It's amazing. Thank you for coming today, for joining me, for letting me share this with you. And if you're so inclined, give me a like and a subscribe. And I'll see you again next week.